All right, hello and welcome to Supplies for FA 106 Color Theory. Um, so first and foremost, the thing that you need to really focus in on are your paints and your brushes. So this semester, as far as the bookstore goes, I have asked them to pick up golden acrylics, heavy body, and the style is called open. So they have a big open on there. This is not one of those. But the open series dries a little bit slower than your normal acrylics. So that I think is a little bit helpful. For some of you, it might be a little bit frustrating, but it does give you more time to blend things. So golden is one type of brand. This is a violet oxide. Another one that you might pick up online is a Blick Artist's Acrylic. Dick Blick is a good sales place online and things are pretty cheap. I think you might even be able to get these through Amazon. So this is a black. Liquitex is another popular brand. Notice that it says heavy body, not liquid or fluid version. This is a raw sienna and just another tube. So these are all 59 milliliters or about 2 fluid ounces of paint. So smaller tubes, you don't need giant tubes. I recommend trying to get artist's quality rather than buying really cheap, 10 tubes of 10 milliliter paints. If you buy cheap paint, you're going to blow through it fast. So I recommend trying to find these types for class. So that's our first step, is getting paints. Basically what I think you want to have is you want to have yellow, red, orange, dark red, blue, green, purple, black, white, maybe a brown. You could probably get something in between if you don't have all those. But the idea is for this class, we're going to be mixing colors. So the more colors you have, the more access to color that you have. So next is brushes. So these ones are pretty good, and these are the ones that I ordered through the bookstore. They are Simply Simons by Robert Simons. And you have a 1-inch wash brush. So a wash brush is kind of a flat that has long bristles and it's soft. It's a short handle and it's meant to like put down a big area or paint something nice and smooth. So you'll need one of these for sure. 1 inch or 3/4 inch is fine too. After that, there's something similar to this. Each one of these brushes in the bookstore is going to be, somewhere around $5. So it's a great price. This is a liner. So if I wet this and get the point back, it's a long bristle, and you can basically have a nice point with it and paint details with that. The third brush that I put into the set is something more like this, which is a nice round brush. This is not the same brand. It's actually going to be the Simply Simons, but like a little bit bigger, something that can kind of make a fine point and can cover some area. The last one that I did not put in the kit because it wasn't part of the Simply Simons group, but I like this, is a 1/4 inch. So it's like the first one, except for it's a little bit smaller. This is also Robert Simons. This is a white sable. It might be a little bit more expensive if you go to find one, but this is a nice size, and it also has a flat end, can carry a lot of paint. So brushes and paint are some of your most important things that you get this semester. The next one is your paper that you paint on. You don't want to paint on copy paper or any kind of cheap paper. So this is a Bienfang watercolor. I have this to do demonstrations with. I have not gotten a hold of some of the Bristol paper, which I will have some by the time the semester starts. So the one that we're going to be using is the XL Bristol Smooth. The size is 14 inch by 17 inch. which is, basically this size of paper, pretty big. And the idea is it's a thicker paper and it is going to hold your paint much better than something else will. You can use artist tape or a roll of painter's tape. I think I put this kind of painter's tape in the kit. You will need a ruler at some point for this projects. So I picked this up at Target this year. It was like 50 cents. It's flexible, it's see-through. I think it's a great little ruler. Those are the ones I prefer. If you have just a regular old school ruler, that works too, but you're gonna need one. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is have something to mix on. So I did add in a paper palette. It's not the same as this one. This is a Gray Matters paper palette by Richardson. This is, you can get this through Dick Blick. It's not that expensive, but the one I ordered is a little bit cheaper, and the paper is white, not gray like this. So these are nice because it's almost like you can mix with it, and then you can just clean it up and throw it away if you don't use it. You'll also notice that this is all on top of a butcher's tray. If you have one of those to paint with, or one of those closed-in art palettes, you could use that as well. It's really up to you, but the kit has a paper palette that you can kind of dispose of as you go. I do think that it's a good idea to have a sketchbook. So this is the one that I usually like to use. It's a tone tan paper sketchbook, and these are here just to, do notes, try out your ideas, see your thumbnails before you start to paint. So if you have just a regular white one, that's fine too. Nothing special, but a sketchbook is good to have. You can draw with whatever you like, a brush pen, a lead holder pencil, a Colarase colored pencil, a pen. Regular graphite also works. I usually shy away from graphite just because I feel like it doesn't, it smears too much for my liking. Something hard to paint on, most of the time I would paint just right in my pad and then pull that sheet out. But if you have a board or something that you want to peg it down to, you might want to clip. I think it's good to have a utility knife to be able to cut things, or a pair of scissors also works. If you have a piece of glass and you're going to mix on a glass palette, you might want to have a glass scraper to clean that off, but that's not necessary. For the most part, I think that's all you need for this class. Oh, a water container. So some kind of jar or cup to put water in. And even a very simple palette that you could use is like a paper plate, and then use it, throw it away. But it doesn't really have a lot of mixing space. So this is a run through for just the supplies, and we'll see you in the next section.